Let's see if this is going really slow. Okay, so I wanted to read this guy's blog. It's the first blog I've seen related to metamaterials, but this is the first post that he made. I'm going to maybe, how do I do this? Okay, we'll just leave it at that. I like the image that he shared, so I'm going to, I don't know, never mind. I'll just leave it at that. So I'm going to read the first blog post that he made. Okay, this is the first blog post that he did. It's called Comfort Zone: Moving Beyond an Artificial Boundary That Requires Minimal Effort to Maintain and Manage. It's a series, part one. It's part one of his series. It's a quick post. What is a comfort zone? I believe it's an artificial boundary you have created for yourself that requires minimal effort to maintain and manage. To move that boundary, you need to have a really good reason why you need to put in the effort to move it. If you have the will to move that boundary, you need to make sure you have the tools available. You can get the results you're looking for. That you can get the results you're looking for. Otherwise, you will go right back to the original point of where the boundary started. The world we live in today creates a problem. The skills that are required to be able to adapt to a disruptive future will require more than just learning or being exposed to new skills. The artificial limitations that you have placed on yourself in your mind are going to have to be dealt with. The number one reason why a person is unable to move beyond the artificial boundary that they create, otherwise known as a comfort zone, is fear. It doesn't matter what industry you work in. It doesn't matter what type of organizational structure you have. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter what position you hold. Again, the number one reason why a person is unable to move beyond the artificial boundary that they create in their mind, otherwise known as a comfort zone, is fear. Fear is inherent to who we are, and you will never get rid of it. The moment that you get into any unfamiliar territory, fear will stand right next to you. What I refer to as the digital Renaissance era or era of disruption is unfamiliar territory for many people. In order to embrace a disruptive future, you have to be willing to move beyond any artificial boundary you created in your mind. That includes any bad habits you have that can prevent you from moving beyond that artificial boundary you have created. Again, comfort zone. Your mind is designed to create doubt. A valid question that you could ask yourself today to start creating doubt is, will this change bring about a positive, transformative result? And I think that's a defensive mechanism our minds have, is having doubt. Because in order to survive, there has to be a certain degree of caution in our mind. We can't just go into things headstrong and think, we can just jump into the jaws of a lion, for instance. No, you have to take into account, will this work or won't this work? So it comes back to fear of the unknown, fear of not having the proper skills, fear of not knowing how to adapt, the fear of asking questions or how others will perceive you after asking those questions. Some people think, I don't want to ask a stupid question, look stupid. But if you don't, you remain a fool forever. But if you do, you're only a fool for maybe like a few seconds. Thinking about things that happened in your past that didn't turn out so well. So those things prevent people from getting out of their comfort zone. The era of disruption that we are walking into will require you to take progressive risks. And I am not referring to monetary risks. If you're not willing to be open to new perspectives, if you are going to judge new approaches before you even understand their impact, you will be left behind. You risk becoming your own worst enemy. In order to embrace change, you need to insulate yourself from the inherent risk. The first thing that you have to do in insulating yourself is to tell yourself you are willing to embrace change. Here is another perspective. An artificial boundary you create, again known as a comfort zone, I believe also has similar qualities to that of an addiction. I think fear makes up one component, but I believe there is more at play. You are addicted to your comfort zone. You are addicted to the artificial boundary you have created in your mind. You're addicted to your comfort zone because of how it makes you feel. It makes you feel safe. It makes you feel like you're in control. It makes you feel gratification of what it allows you to achieve. The era of disruption does not care about comfort zones. It does not care about artificial boundaries you create in your head that you just can't get past. You risk becoming your own worst enemy. Your comfort zone will hold you back from allowing you to think in different ways. If you do not address this, you will be left behind. So, where do you start? The first thing you have to do is accept the idea of embracing change. You have to admit to yourself that change is coming regardless, and the impact that change will have on you could put you in a position where you question yourself and could expose you to some of your deepest insecurities. I believe insecurities are rooted from what a person has been exposed to and learned. The moment you have an awareness of new knowledge, that moment will provide you access to a roadmap to move beyond an insecurity you have. Being open to new perspectives in the era of disruption will facilitate the beginning of that awareness. You are a forward thinker. The reason why I know this statement is accurate is for two reasons. Number one, you would not have purchased my publication if you were not. Okay, so this guy is a magazine apparently. And number two, you would not have read up to this point or have listened to this point. This part one on comfort zone is the beginning of outlining a process that will continue to be discussed in my next issues on how to move beyond your comfort zone and embrace a disruptive future to help provide you perspectives and processes so you can unshackle yourself from any baggage that may prevent you from elevating yourself and moving beyond your comfort zone. I act as a facilitator to help uh, develop and source perspectives so you may be made aware of and use in developing your own power roadmap as a forward thinker. I will be addressing and providing more of my perspectives on the comfort zone and how to move beyond it in my next publication issue, Series 2. I'm going to introduce you to a new perspective in the next section called abstract sequencing. So keep an open mind. Don't let your comfort zone have you be a prisoner and not allowing you to be exposed to an awareness of new knowledge and perspectives written by Leszek Kowalski. Okay, so that was his first post. I'm going to start a new live stream uh, on his metamaterials updates. So he didn't do part two yet. I guess that's coming up next month, perhaps, or later in the month. So he has a total of 4 blog posts, and we'll see how much I can get done in one video. So this is the first one. This is only 10 minutes. Okay. Thanks, Matt. I'm going to do another stream.